G'day everyone and welcome to the SuperCoach AFL official podcast and live show for Sunday. Going at a different time slot this week, live on the Code YouTube Sports channel and SuperCoach Twitter at the moment. This Sunday afternoon, August 3rd, 2025, it is your boy Dossy here, and you know I had to go live after the round that I'm currently having. Already cracked the 2,000 heading into the Sunday fixture. Now, yes, I do have 0 trades left, but we're going strong. Look at this. The Grundy 200. Whew. Can't take the Gorn 131. The VC couldn't take that. Had to back in the Grund 200. But on this show, just going to go through a quick recap of the round so far before we get into this Sunday fixture about to start in just under half an hour, 23 minutes to be precise, on the app here. So going to go through some of the good scores and what to look forward to in the round ahead. But as I said, let's just look at this masterclass that Dossy's putting on right now. The only blemish, one Sam Flanders, known as Sam Panders on the Phantoms Lair. He's been in the frying pan a few times now, but a 47 against Richmond, backing up a 47 from earlier in the season. So just a real rubbish display. I just hate his role at the moment. I just don't know what's going on there. If we look at some of the most disappointing sort of SuperCoach performers this year, I think, Sam Flanders sort of going under the radar because not many of us started with him due to his back concerns in the preseason. And then obviously didn't sort of had a delayed start to the season starting in round 3 as well. But yeah, what's he lost? 240K on the season. There's a lot of talk about Dan Houston, probably rightly so, being in Melbourne, but Sam Flanders from last year really just role. I think the role's just completely changed. Like he started as a half back last year, moved a little bit into the midfield and forward at the end of the year. But like, let's look at his 2024 stats. Like this guy was a SuperCoach Uber premium. Like he didn't drop under a ton until round 21. Round 21, he didn't drop under a ton, and he's got me a 47. So other than that, though, can't complain. Some big scores all around. Only, one or two other sub-tons from Chad Warner. I thought he'd go much bigger against Essendon, and Bailey Dale, who nearly notched a ton in that huge blowout win. But let's just go through, not just talk about my team, look at some of the AFL matches from the round, quickly recap some of these, and let's look at some of the games today before we get into it. Tim English. We had another massive game from him, 202. So one of the only players to crack 200 this week. Obviously, Grundy, another one to back it up this round. But I think it was only Jordan Sweet that had done it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was someone last week as well. But there's only been a few 200 scores this week. Tim English and Grundy both doing it this round. A huge effort. And yeah, look, Briggsy, 58, getting absolutely monstered in the ruck there. Bont, another VC score. Easy to take that. Lockie Ash has been unreal this year. Lockie Whitfield in my squad. And Aaron Norton, I mean, if you've had him in draft and been streaming him recently, that's been a big W for anyone that went there. Sammy Darcy as well, a great pickup, really, when you look at lots of people jumped on, but he sort of took a few weeks to get going in the 70s, but hasn't had a, real basement score either. And now delivering some ceiling scores right when we need it, heading into our SuperCoach finals. Matt Kennedy, another solid performance as well, but no real other. Oh, I mean, Jesse Hogan, geez, if you fielded him in draft, you'd be in serious strife. Scored a 6 SuperCoach on the weekend. Now, pretty happy with this one as well. Crom, could they be going all the way this year? I know in Adelaide, a few lads in the office are booking their flights in September and booking some accommodation now. A few getting pretty excited over in Adelaide. But Jordan Dawson, masterclass, 149. Rankin, I think, had some very nice scaling. I want to know what his contested knock-on back into the goal square for that goal assist. That's surely a contested knock-on goal assist, I would imagine, from Champion Data. But we might check with them and get a bit of a graphic for that because that's a really interesting one to see how that was scored. I think pretty crucial play as well down the stretch. Now, this is a guy I'm looking at strongly for next season. Dan Curtin, what a second half of the year that he's having. One for your keeper leagues, no doubt, but could we look at him in classic? I mean, this guy is unfortunately, you'd imagine mid-only next year, given that he's been playing a lot of wing. But 150, 70, 117, 132, 100, and an 84 in a tougher matchup. Got two really nice matchups coming up as well. He could storm home, have an awkward 80 odd average, but if he takes another step next year, Dan Curtin, one to watch for us in the future in SuperCoach. Will Day, devastating as well. I mean, his average is really going to be awkward to start next year as well, because he's still averaging that'll be up near a ton. Like, given he's had a couple of ceiling scores, probably under the amount of games though, might get a little bit of a discount. But yeah, it's sort of an interesting one to watch for next year. He's just had a injury riddled career so far. Unfortunate for him to now be out for the season. Maxi Gawn. Now, I showed my captain at the start. I went with the Grund over Max Gawn. I never usually pass up a 130, but in the form that Grundy's in at the moment, couldn't pass it up, and no regrets. Poor old Toddy Goldstein. 200 for Grund. And yeah, I think we've still got another couple of nice matchups to go. Let's have a look. We got Brisbane, but geez, West Coast in the final round. If they don't give him a rest or something, because that'll be a complete dead rubber, we could see another 40 possessions from old Grund in that one. So don't usually pass it up. Happy I did that time. Got the 200 captain score. So we're well on track to a big old score, and it's going to be hard to fit the head into the lair tomorrow if we do end up doing a recording. Still deciding whether old Dossy's gonna do that, but we shall decide. Noah Anderson, far out. I mean, I thought Matty Rao was on track for. I was a bit disappointed. I know Al Payton from the Wednesday breaking even with Al Payton, usually on the live show as well, but he was away this week, so he has Matty Rao captain. Went him over Brodie Grundy, and early days that was looking amazing. I think Matty Rao was on like 50, 60 at quarter time. Like he was going absolutely nuts, but Anderson sort of fought his way back and ended up being the top scorer in that game. Matt Rao, though, his season, like, unbelievable. I think, what did he get down to? 400. So some people jumping on at 460K. 460K. You've made yourself 200K, and he's dropped another massive score this weekend. Still got Carlton, G-Dubs, Port. I think he'll be fine in all of those games as well. So literally, when he got down to 460, he's only gone sub ton once since then against Essendon, who you would have thought he would have absolutely monstered. So great pickup. Anderson also coming home strong as well. Sammy Banks, nice little draft score there, but nothing to speak of really. On the other side, I've already mentioned how disappointed I am with old Sammy Flanders as well. Alex Davies was kind of that 1 week wonder in draft now with Tuke Miller back. He got subbed out as well, but scored 122 before being subbed. And my boy, Braden Ferroni, 114 in that game. But let's move on to the last couple of games now. I've talked enough about Brodie Grundy's 200. Just amazing. But that matchup, that's gold at the moment. I actually genuinely feel bad for Todd Goldstein. Was probably not looking at playing a game this year. Then injury crisis at Essendon, and sad to see one of the greats, because he's been one of our stalwarts of the game, scoring 18 and getting a 200 dropped on his head. Like, this guy, let's just remember the career that was, and it's unfortunate. He's doing them a solid by going out there, but it's sort of tainting our lasting memories of Todd Goldstein. Had an amazing career, averaged 128.8 himself way back in 2015. So just, I know we've sort of been putting a bit of shade on him, poor old Toddy Goldstein, the matchup, but yeah, let's remember the great ruck he was, and that he's sort of doing them a solid as well, going out there well past the prime there. But Grundy ton, Goulden, very nice score. Callum Mills, I've been pretty disappointed I didn't go there, because anyone that did, like, Phantom was saying at one point it's a 50 then a ton, a 50 then a ton. Looks like he's got that consistency back. That's 3 tons in a row, 3 solid tons as well, 115, 125, and another 120. So yeah, he was clearly value, and that's a miss from me. Again, another few solid matchups to come for him. Huge score from Nick Blakey, big pod there. And Heaney's been really good on the run home. Nearly had a 200 himself the other week. Very solid. Chad Warner's been one that's been pretty disappointing. I think lots of people, I mean, I got him at super value, so I'm not like disappointed, but yeah, you would have been hoping for much more. He sort of just hovered in the 400s all year. Had a couple of tons though. We can't complain about that, but lots of sort of just average scores from a guy you would have hoped. I think we got him in trying to hope he was a premium. Didn't end up happening. And then the final sort of game, that was, big win for Brisbane, but gee whiz, I'm pretty happy. I know this is talking a lot about old Dossy's team, but geez, you got to look at it. 157 for Hugh McCluggage. Neil Owner's very happy with that, and Dunkley. I mean, the mids just dominated for Brisbane, as well as Logan Morris up forward with a big 120 for him. But Dane Zorko, now look, Phantom's been an owner of Dane Zorko. I don't know. That was a late junk time ton for Dorco. I would have thought that was going for a 60 or 70, which I was pretty happy about in our matchup. Phantom's also going pretty well, so I was hoping he'd get a little bit of a bullet there, but still managed the ton. And Nick Dacos still got 110. Was looking like a massive score, but really quietened down as the game went on. But let's look ahead towards today's games. We've got Saints, North, Geelong, Port, and Fremantle, Carlton. This game's Saints about to start in 13 minutes. Now, Jack Steele, surprise sub to start the game. So that would have come out of nowhere. I wonder how many teams actually own Jack Steele. Let's maybe go in and have a look. Look at the filters here. Saints North ownership. I would imagine it's not very high, but 1.4, 2,700 teams. That's rough. Starting as the sub. So, a bit of a statement from old Ross. Now, this guy, I'm seriously concerned about Wanganeen Miller today. That is going to be, pretty hard to watch. I think he's going to go absolutely ham. All right, well, this stream, we've also got to do our little best bet powered by Betr. Now, I've put together a little multi for the current game coming up. So just going to have a look at what I've done there. I've got 20 plus from Rowan Marshall, 25 plus for Nazire Wanganeen Miller. Max Hall, 7 plus tackles, looking pretty good in a bit of a different role. Jack Steele. Does that mean we see a bit more Max Hall in the guts as well? Was attending some centre bounces in the last few weeks. Jack Higgins, anytime goal scorer. That's any day. That's happening all the time at the moment. And Mitch Owens, anytime goal scorer as well. So 5-leg multi, you get $8.50 for that. I think Rowan Marshall getting 20 plus is pretty easy one going for against Bryn Teakle today. Naz is just a 25 plus Monty every week this week. So every day, every round at the moment. $8.50 that's paying on Betr for a multi there. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. So thanks everyone for watching this stream. Hopefully I can get a couple of big scores to bring me home with a wet sail. I think I'll just look at my matchup with there's Alba. There's one with Phantom is in this league here, and he's going for a massive score. So I've got a 10-point buffer. I've got the Sam Flanders score hopefully dropping off. He doesn't have any scores dropping off because he's still running with Sherry. So me versus Phantom, really heating up. We're actually in this league. We're actually looking potentially at making the grand final together if we can make it all the way. He's got Sinclair, McRae, Shees, Baslenka, Sarong, Butters, McKercher to come. What have I got here? I got similar. I got Rozee, Sheasel, Matt Carroll. Let's hope Matt Carroll can bust out a big score from me today. I'm going to need it, I think, just to cover for Flanders. Need more than 47 from Matt Carroll. Come on, Matty Carroll. And we've still got Butters as well. Brayshaw, hopefully a big score, and Luke Jackson, Baslenka, Jack McRae. So, I tell you what, my Tim Kelly, Brodie Grundy masterclass is looking like the best trade I've done this season, just about. Let's have a look at some of my trade history. Nice little feature, the old trade history here. Let's have a look down when I did get, what did I do? Yeah, so it was my Where are we? Oh, this is round 3. I'm up the top. So this was my final trade, round 19. Tristan Sherry and Horn Francis out for 3 weeks with Sherry and season for Horn Francis for Tim Kelly at 309k and the Grund. And Tim Kelly, look, he got me a 62. That was the first week I had him. 62, 121, and 100 this week. Cannot complain because I got the Grund and the Grund's just dropped to 200. So anyway, that's me for this week. Good luck for the rest of the round. Enjoy the footy today. 10 minutes till tip off. Hope you have a great weekend. And let us know if you like this format on the Sunday as opposed to a Thursday night live stream after teams. We couldn't do it this week. The plan is to keep doing the Thursdays, but if you do enjoy a bit of an update on the Sunday, let us know. Bit of a trial run. Hope you enjoy your Sunday. And hopefully we can all get a massive round. But it's looking like we're going to get another 3,000 this week, I reckon. This could be the world record. I think we pointed out the world record last week. I think it's 3,038. Could we get there? There is some massive scores this week. We've had 2 200s. Somebody's rocking this duo. Somebody's rocking the double 200 in the ruck. We've had a McClugger 150, another one, multiple 150s, multiple 140s. This could be the week. We could see the world record be broken. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Have a good Sunday. Catch you later.